Savannah, there they are. Look, oh my gosh, our Today All Day viewers. Oh, big virtual hug. Hope you all are having fun on this Thursday.
Yeah, happy Thursday. We're glad you joined us for our digital show.
Stop trying to do that.
Today in 30, this is a 30-minute blend of the highlights, the best from all 4 hours of our show.
Okay, we are going to begin with some real serious stuff. That devastating partial building collapse near Miami as we hear from eyewitnesses and a resident, one who was rescued from her balcony.
Then we've got an exclusive interview this morning with the nation's first ever second gentleman, Doug Emhoff, married to Kamala Harris, our vice president, how he's getting used to that historic role in Washington. And get out your sunscreen, why one entrepreneur is trying to convince us to wear it every single day. I try to wear it every day. Got to protect the real estate, Hoda.
You got to do it. And hey, guys, do you want even more of us? No. Well, you can get it now. Jenna and I are on TikTok. Okay.
What?
Yeah, it's not going to be pretty. We have our own account. We're going to do all kinds of funny moments and dances and stuff. So there's always more.
Let's get this party started, Hody. Time for Today in 30. We want to get right to the breaking news overnight. That building collapse in South Florida. Dozens of fire and rescue units responding to the emergency call just before 2 a.m.
Yeah, it happened in the city of Surfside. That's just north of Miami Beach. The structure is a 12-story residential condominium building.
Yeah, the rescue operation has been unfolding all morning long, and earlier we saw crews pulling a young boy out of that rubble.
Yeah, incredible pictures. We're going to talk with a woman who was rescued from her balcony, but first, NBC's Carrie Sanders joins us from the scene. Carrie, what is the very latest?
Well, there is an urgent search and rescue underway right now, trying to find survivors. They've already been able to pull out 25 people, 2 from the side of the building that actually collapsed. The authorities say that they'll get to why this happened later, but right now, those who have gotten out, the survivors, are understandably numb. This morning, shocking images of a Florida condominium building partially collapsed. Firefighters working frantically to extract victims. This young boy pulled to safety. There may be so many more still inside. Most were unaware what happened. Some wondering, was it lightning followed by thunder?
It's crazy. I mean, you think something you've seen in a earthquake or something, but not something like this.
The 12-story building with 136 units pancaked, trapping people in their apartments. Others believed to be crushed.
They pulled 35 occupants that were trapped inside the building. In addition to those 35, 10 were assessed and treated. 2 were transported to various hospitals. Search and rescue efforts are still ongoing.
Vacationers at a nearby hotel described the moment the building collapsed.
The building shook. And then I looked out the window. I thought it was like a storm or something coming in. And when the dust cleared, there was the back half of the building, or back 2/3 of the building was gone. It's down to the ground.
As each hour goes by, family members who cannot find their loved ones growing more anxious. Officers helping with the massive search and rescue. Victims advocates assisting residents who just lost their homes. Officials say the 40-year-old building recently began an inspection. It had not been completed. The focus this morning, a feverish effort to find anyone who may still be alive in the rubble.
Every minute in this search can make a huge difference.
And of course, the big difficulty is for those who have loved ones that they have not heard from, gathering outside the building, hoping against hope that their loved ones somehow were able to survive this, might be still in the rubble, but able to hang on for rescuers to get to them. Meantime, the White House has been in contact with officials here, telling them that FEMA is available to assist them if it's needed. Those who were inside say that they heard a boom, a boom, a boom, and that last boom is when it all came down. And now the big question is, why did this happen?
You can really see that damage and destruction. We want to bring in Ophi Osen-Cohen. She lives on the 4th floor of that complex. She was rescued right off of her balcony. Ophi, first of all, it is so good to see you. We're so happy that you're okay, but I can't imagine that you were just tucked into bed 1:30 or 2 o'clock in the morning and you saw and felt things. Describe what you went through.
So we were sound asleep, as were probably most people in the building. We heard a weird sound. It could have been thunder, but it didn't really sound like thunder, and we felt the building shake. and we knew something was up. It rattled us. We immediately got out of bed. We looked around. We looked out the window. Our apartment faces the street, and I saw a plume of smoke coming up. Very unusual shape, and just everything about it was unusual. A few cars, not many at that hour of the night. And very soon thereafter, a police car that pulled up, and I heard a neighbor yell out, "What's going on?" And the policeman said, "We don't know yet." He was running around with a flashlight at that moment. Shortly thereafter, we decided we wanted to get out. And so we put on some clothes. As you can imagine, we were in our PJs, grabbed a few items, the essential things. And when I opened the door to my apartment, it leads to a long hallway. And all I saw was debris, and the partial debris was covering the door next to us as well. There's another staircase that we took and went down and saw several other people that were in the staircase. We tried to exit on the pool deck and could not open the door. It was jammed. So we continued down and went down to the garage, but it was full of water. Up to our ankles already. We didn't know what was going on at that point, and we realized that we weren't going to be able to get out through there either. So we decided to go back up the stairs. The door to the building itself, we couldn't get it back in because the electricity was out. We went back up the stairs. We took two elderly people with us that we didn't know. We met them in the staircase to our apartment, and decided to go out to the balcony and wave down fire rescue. And they are heroes. They're just unbelievable human beings. And they came up with a ladder and a bucket and got the four of us down. It is just overwhelming to see when we opened the door and saw that the building had collapsed. It was just surreal, really surreal.
Ophi, I mean, what you have just described is absolutely terrifying, and going all the way down and bringing your neighbors with you and then being rescued. And, this is a residential condo building. It's off-season in Miami. Do you have a sense of how full it was, how many of your neighbors may have been sleeping in their beds in the portion of the building that went down?
Right. So it's a 12-story building. There are about 186 apartments. I can't tell you exactly how many people were there, but, with COVID, people weren't traveling as much, and also people were visiting. So it's hard to say how many people. We didn't see a lot of people initially because we were probably one of the first to get out. Eventually, we walked about 5 or 6 blocks to the community center, which was a station, a gathering station, and many people came after that, and others were waiting to hear from their loved ones. So I don't know how many people. I can't really estimate that at the moment. But people in the building are snowbirds. Others, come on the weekends. They have a home in other parts of Miami. And things have been busy, in the pool area. So I would imagine there were quite a few people there.
Ophi, we did see a young boy being rescued out of the rubble. And I just wonder, while you were walking around down there, did you hear anybody?
Unfortunately, we did hear screams. I don't even want to think about it. We did hear screams, but I couldn't tell where they were coming from the rubble, from the apartments. People were on their balconies, waving flashlights, yelling to the firefighters. So I'm not exactly sure where the sounds were coming from, to be honest.
Well, Ophi Osen-Cohen, we're happy that you are okay. Thank you so much for speaking with us this morning. We wish you and your family all the best. I can only imagine the trauma you're feeling right now. Thank you so much.
We're back with an NBC News exclusive conversation with the nation's first ever second gentleman.
That's right. Doug Emhoff got that title when his wife, Kamala Harris, made history as the first woman to become vice president. And as she breaks barriers in her role, Emhoff is defining his own.
NBC's chief White House correspondent Peter Alexander sat down with him in Chicago, his very first interview since the inauguration. Hey, Peter, good morning.
Craig, Hoda, Savannah, good morning to all of you. Second gentleman Doug Emhoff tells me that he is not a political advisor for his wife, just really a proud husband, he says, trying to support her and the Biden administration. He's already embracing this role, traveling to 17 states in these first several months, focusing heavily on beating the pandemic. As you noted, I caught up with him in Chicago yesterday, where he was promoting vaccinations, especially for communities of color, even as the White House concedes it'll fall short of its goal to have 70% of adults with one shot by the 4th of July.
The nation's first second gentleman, Doug Emhoff, is out front in the effort to combat COVID.
It's going to be fine.
I had mine 2 times. No problem.
How do you convince the holdouts to get a shot?
Just trying to talk about facts. They're safe, they're effective, they're free, they're available, and they work.
Emhoff says he prefers to steer clear of politics, but his wife, Vice President Kamala Harris, is facing renewed scrutiny after Wednesday's announcement that she'll go to the border for the first time tomorrow.
As you've witnessed, Republicans have made a big thing out of this. Former President Trump today said the reason she's going this week is because he's going next week. What do you make of that?
Kamala Harris is not driven by any political issues or political pressure. She's really just doing what the right thing is to do for this very important job that the president entrusted her with.
You're a husband. When you see the attacks, when you see the criticism, what do you think?
Look, you're a husband too, Peter. No one wants to see anyone they love attacked or criticized, but like that's part of what she signed up for in this life of public service. It's part of the territory, and for her, like if you could see what I see behind the scenes, she's just focused on the work, working hard, and getting it done for the American people.
As the first woman, black, South Asian vice president, do you think that your wife is treated differently because she's a woman and a woman of color?
Probably, but so what? I mean, she has faced challenges as a groundbreaker her whole career. I think she said at times, you know, when you're breaking barriers, there's breaking involved, and breaking means you might get cut sometimes, but that's okay. It's worth it because she's leading a path for others.
Emhoff left a successful career as an entertainment lawyer to support his wife's ambitions.
What message do you hope that your experience sends to other men?
Men have to step up and step up for the people that they love and actually show it. It's manly to love and care about others.
Still, Emhoff admits being thrust into the glaring public spotlight has been jarring. The moment his new reality sunk in,
it was the COVID memorial on the Lincoln steps and the reflecting pond, and that's when it really hit me. Oh my goodness, this is really happening.
It sunk in then.
There's the cameras and the Secret Service, and you walk out and there's soon-to-be President Biden and First Lady.
There have been light moments, too, like in April when he was caught on camera blowing kisses to his wife ahead of the president's joint address, a clip that went viral.
Do you ever stop in those moments and think, how did I get here?
Every minute of every day. And sometimes she and I will look at each other and I'll say, you're the Vice President of the United States. And she's like, you're the second gentleman of the United States. So it's just, it is a little surreal.
A lot of people are already talking about who the next president's going to be. Do you want her to run? Is that something you guys talk about?
And we're two people who are not talking about that. We're just so focused on.
So that's hard for me to believe that you walk into the White House. You don't ever say, man, can you imagine being here?
We've spent 0 seconds talking about that. Just so focused on task at hand.
His wife, of course, not the only history maker in the family. Mr. Emhoff is the first Jewish spouse of a vice president, and he tells me that he feels this unique responsibility to speak out against hate and the recent rise in anti-Semitism. As for the vice president's trip to the border tomorrow, he called her recent visit to Mexico and Guatemala successful, despite criticism from both Republicans and Democrats, and says this is just the next phase in her effort to address the root causes of migration. Back to you guys.
Al, we got to get some birthdays in.
Absolutely. Let's do it. Spin those sweet jars of Smuckers. And first up, we've got a happy 106th birthday to Jeanette Wellendinger, a baker from Armonk, New York. She created her own cookbook so her family can have her favorite recipes in just one place. Gertrude Kaplan from Queens Village, New York, 101 years old, loves spending time with the 4 grandkids and 9 great-grandkids. Happy 101st birthday to Frank Wenzel, a pilot from Irvine, California. He's developed 17 patents through his work in the aerospace industry. Felix Pisteris of Joliet, Illinois, 100, receiving multiple medals for his service to our country during World War II. Congratulations, sir. We salute you for your service. Miss Ruth Brown of Nashua, New Hampshire, celebrating her 108th birthday. She'll celebrate the big day with a party in her honor. Happy 102nd birthday to Winifred Dolezal, a retired teacher from North Royalton, Ohio.
Hi, my friends at Today All Day. I am so excited about my She Made It today. It is the CEO and founder of Supergoop, and her passion and excitement for the brand just comes through the screen. And I learned so much about the importance of sunscreen, not just in the summer, but 365 days a year. It's a really important story for you and your family. So I hope you'll tune in, and I'll see you soon.
It is time for She Made It with an entrepreneur on a mission to change how we see sunscreen. Today, lifestyle and commerce contributor Jill Martin has her story. Good morning to you.
Hi, guys. Good morning. And her passion just comes right through the screen. Supergoop founder Holly Faggard wants us to know wearing sunscreen is not just for summer, but for every single day. Her multi-million-dollar brand was created 16 years ago, and it all started from a product with a purpose. Take a look.
You have to inspire people and build beautiful products so that people want to put it into their life every single day.
There's no doubt Supergoop founder Holly Faggard is the queen of sunscreen.
Are you wearing a shirt that says sunscreen all over it?
Wear sunscreen.
But before she was shaking things up in the world of SPF, Holly was a teacher and a professional harpist.
What I find the most fascinating, you were in a totally different world.
I was a third grade school teacher out of college, and I still believe that I'm still teaching. You don't necessarily need to be in a classroom to be a teacher.
16 years ago, Holly was inspired to change what the world thought about sunscreen when a close friend of hers was diagnosed with skin cancer at the age of 29.
Another good college friend of mine, who's now a renowned dermatologist, said to me, you know, Holly, it's really that little bit of incidental damage that you get every single day. It's not about beaches and bikinis.
Was that the first sort of aha moment that you were like, okay, we need to pay attention?
Absolutely. There are not many cancers that are primarily preventable with a magic lotion. When I looked at the category, though, the chemical formulas were itchy and irritating, and sunscreen had a very negative reputation back in 16 years ago. I thought, gosh, if we want people to wear SPF every single day, there needed to be a product. And so I started to dream about SPF.
Holly began meeting with chemists to create a formula that was both clean and free of harmful ingredients. So after bootstrapping her business, Supergoop was born in 2005. As a mother of two, her original business plan was to get sunscreen into classrooms, but discovered it wasn't that easy.
I quickly learned that it's thought of as an over-the-counter drug. No one had advocated to carve a policy out that would allow SPF to be brought to school or available in the classroom.
Undeterred, Holly pivoted her sunscreen brand to retail for selling in local stores, until a buyer from Sephora's headquarters in San Francisco discovered her product.
She called the number on the packaging, which was, of course, my cell phone.
Right, you're like, call me.
And she said, you know, I don't think you're quite ready for Sephora, but I want to give you some tips and tricks, and then keep in touch with me. And one of those was, you've got to get your press built up. And we spent 2 years building my press book. I dialed her back and I left her a voicemail that I was coming to San Francisco and I was ready to sit down and talk. She didn't call me back, but I flew out there with no meetings on the calendar. I was completely broke. And the first night I got there, my phone lit up. It said Sephora. And she said, I think you might be here. Can you come in and sit down and talk to us?
The meeting was a success, and in 2011, Supergoop was on Sephora's shelves all across the country, 365 days a year.
And now you're a multi-million-dollar company.
We are, and we're going into our third year of profitability, which is so exciting for me because if you're not profitable, you're not sustainable.
Today, Holly's original mission of providing SPF to young kids has come full circle. With their ounce-by-ounce giving program, Supergoop ships a free pump of sunscreen to classrooms across America.
Do you feel like you've made enough of an impact, or do you still feel like you have so much to change?
Today, fast forward, I think it's because of our products. It's because of the fun and playful spirit of this brand that we've been able to change and actually create a new category.
What's next for Supergoop?
Oh gosh, Jill, more of the same. Game-changing SPF innovation that's never been done before is what wakes me up in the morning, and helping others inspire a world in which they embrace this habit and embrace it as a family.
Holly is clearly really passionate about sun care education, especially for young kids. She's met with folks on Capitol Hill to advocate for policies to allow SPF in classrooms, and today, nearly 30 states are adopting new plans to
That's
allow
good.
sunscreen in schools. And guys, I love the moment where she flew to San Francisco without the appointment and then got it. That was that pivotal moment where things shifted for her. So
Here's stories from entrepreneurs. Absolutely.
That's why she made it. That's why she made it.
Full circle. Thank you, Jill.
I'm embarrassed. Okay, so anyway, we're learning and we're a work in progress, and we're going to get better every time. And apparently, we got some advice from some of the biggest TikTok influencers. Donna, what do you got?
Yeah, okay, this is really exciting. Guys, please follow us. We really want you to.
We want to say we're
By the way,
Donna's sort of like the embarrassed daughter that's like, okay,
no, I feel like I'm the Kris Jenner. I'm like, you're doing amazing.
Well, that's true. You're our momager.
But if you follow us, have your kids follow us, please. Anyways, we got some great TikTok influencers who gave us some advice. First is LaRon Hines. I love his profile. Okay. He gained fame quizzing preschoolers with questions like, "Are you smart?"
Oh, that's so
He's
cute.
really cute. He has almost 8 million followers, so he clearly knows what he's talking about. Let's check him out.
I'm LaRon. I'm going to give you guys a couple tips on how to grow your account. We're going to start with step 1, and that is be consistent. You cannot post one video one day, wait a whole week, and then post 6 videos the next day. That just does not work. Moving on to tip number 2, follow trends. TikTok is an app with many trends, many songs, and many challenges that go viral daily. Moving on to tip number 3, and I feel like this one is the most important. Have fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're having fun.
Yes.
And it's going to be organic content, you know? Really how we feel is what you're going to see. So it'll be fun. We also have, you know, ladies, we all wear makeup all the time. One of the biggest makeup TikTok influencers is Michaela Nogueira. And she has 5.7 million followers. So she also knows what she's talking about. Let's check out her advice.
I heard you guys are starting a TikTok of your own, and I want to give you some of my best tips and tricks. Post as much as you can. For me, I try to post at least 3 times a day. Number 2, remain authentic and genuine in your videos. People want to see the real you. I wish you the best of luck on your TikTok journey, and if you ever need makeup advice, I'm your girl.
We do. Look at all of her makeup.
That's beautiful.
We really do need advice.
We're a little nervous because really the advice is to post a ton
and to be yourself.
Okay, we're starting slow, baby steps, okay? So maybe we'll do a couple a week and see how it goes. Okay, finally, I like this millennial Jenna. We're millennials. This guy's relatable. His name is Rod.
I am. Thank you. Say it again.
You're a millennial, too.
Okay, go ahead.
His name is Rod. He has some fun advice. Let's check it out.
I heard you're making your own account. So here are some tips when you're making your first video. First thing, we want to see those beautiful faces. So finding good lighting is really important. My advice would be is to find that perfect spot in your house where you take your selfies. This is mine.
Oh, looking
Should we
good.
pose for our selfie now? Just give us your best face.
Oh, God, I don't know. Hey, thank you, Donna.
Hey, today in 30, we just launched our Hoda and Jenna TikTok page.
We started!
We're on TikTok.
And we're gonna get better every time. We loved it though.
What do you think of the dance?
I loved him. Walker Hayes was fine, like why?
We were kind of intimidated.
We were kind of, yes, we were in awe.
And we couldn't dance worth anything. And you know what?
We tried.
I couldn't dance either, but I was trying to support them like Kris Jenner.
Yeah, she's our momager.
All right, you're going to be, I know, can you believe it? Is that ridiculous? All right, you're going to want to be with us tomorrow on Today. One of our favorite guests, Jamie Lee Curtis, will be stopping by.
Oh, I think she tried to get you to run for president last time she was there. We love Jamie Lee. We'll see if we can get you to run. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow for Friday.
Friday,
exactly.
That works.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.